This is the guided practice for 10.1. We are finding the volume of rectangular prisms. Okay, this first one, I put it at the bottom of the page because I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do number 1. And I want to show you, when you have words like this, it's always good to draw a picture. That's how kind of helps me to figure out what I have, what do I need, and how can I solve. All right, so a rectangular kitchen sink. So I know I'm talking about a rectangular prism. It's a kitchen sink. I know that it goes down, over, and it can be filled up. I know what a sink is. Okay, so it says it's 25.25 inches, and that's how long it is. So from here to here, the length. Now it's wide, so I know the sink has to go like that. Okay. So I got my sink right there. Now wide, it's 19.75. 19.75 inches. Okay. And deep would be like the height, starting from here and going, how deep does it go? Well, it goes 10 inches. Okay. So I have, depth would be the same as height. The formula for volume equals length times width times height. And in this case, it's times the depth, which is the same as the height. So volume equals, length is 25.25 times my width, which is 19.75, times my height, which is 10. And I'm going to do this on my calculator. So I'm going to start with the 25.25, multiply that to 19.75, and I get 498.6875, and I'm going to times that by 10, and that will give me my volume in inches cubed. Okay, so times 10, it gets me 4,986.875 inches cubed. Okay, so that's my answer. I just took the length times the width times the height. 4,986.875 inches. And because it's how many cubes can get in there, it's cubed. Or cubic, you might say. Okay. So that is number 1. So we'll go like that for number 1. Let's do number 2 right here. And again, I'm going to draw a picture. Always helps me. Always helps me. Find the missing dimension of a rectangular prism with the volume. Okay. So I have my rectangular prism. It's kind of fun to draw rectangular prisms. Okay, now the volume, it tells me, is 126 centimeters cubed. That's my volume. The width, this right here, is 7/7/8 centimeters. And the height is 2 centimeters. So I'm just missing the length here. All right. Let's do the formula. Volume equals length times width times height. Which variables do I know? Well, I know the volume, so it's 126 equals the length. That one I don't know, but I do know the width, 7 7/8, times the height is 2. Okay, so 126 equals the length, I still don't know, but I'm going to do 7 7/8 times 2. Now if I go 7 divided by 8, it's going to get me it's 875. I always try it. Now, if I do 7 divided by 8 and it gets me a repeating number, then I can't use it. I have to keep it as a fraction. But if it gets me a number that ends like this, then I can use it times 2. Okay? So I'll do 7.875 times 2, and that gets me 15.75. Okay, 15.75. Now I want to get this L all by itself. It's times 15.75, so I'm going to divide each side by 1575. Divide 1575, and that's going to get me L equals, I'm doing it as a cursive L because if I do it like this, it looks kind of like a 1. That's why I've been starting to do it as a cursive L. This gets me just 1, so now I'm down to just L. So it's 126 divided by 15.75, and it gets me an even 8. Okay? Now, the length is 8, and it's centimeters, not cubed, not squared. It's just the length. So the length is 8 centimeters. Okay? So that's how you can find the volume if you know the length, the width, and the height. And it's also how you can find one variable when you know the volume, but you're missing either the length, the width, or the height. Okay? Go ahead and try the independent practice, page 743. Do numbers 1 through 9, and the next video will have you check it. All right?